Hey y'all, it is a lovely, breezy, warm, just beautiful, beautiful evening. There's Hubie. Say hi, honey. We'll go, Huey. Say hi. He's got something on his mind apparently. We've been out here taking photographs
I need to put some stuff in the dry.
Yeah, we had some significant rain last night. I mean, big time. You got it? Do you need some help? He's got it. We've been out here taking photographs of some Jeep parts he has to sell. And this is lumber that he sawed for me today. And I think that I'm going to go ahead and use it on this dog fence back here. I've got one little section of dog fence to finish. And I'm not going to make it as tall as the fence in the back, because I want to be able to not mess up my view of this garden down here at all. But I'm going to make it 4 foot tall, and that's plenty for our old dudes. Nobody's going to jump over it. But I am going to put 2 foot chicken wire at the top of it so that the birds cannot fly in, because that's more the worry with them. The garden got totally soaked last night, and that's a good thing. But I've got to get some fertilizer, some of the fertilizer that I need to just bring down here and spray on top of these plants, because they're just growing more slowly than I want them to. I don't know, y'all. I'm impatient. I just want them to be big and bloom. You can see all the water standing in the paths. And all the grass growing in the paths, that's fine, because I plan on mowing the pathways. I'm not going to put any kind of barrier or anything on the pathways. I'm just gonna let them grow. We got to get us a mulching blade for our lawnmower, and then I will just mow it. But there's the sunflowers. They're doing pretty good. And then here's the second succession of sunflowers. And then down there's seed that we planted. Chelsea and I decided we'd try to just plant some and see how they're doing, and they haven't come up at all. And they've been in the ground probably close to a week. So I'm thinking, I think we're just going to continue like we were and just start them. And these little dudes are not looking so healthy at all. They're just, they're alive. But from what I've read, they're very slow. I think this is the bee balm, the Monarda. And I think it should have been put out very early in the springtime. And then this is the salvia. It's also a very slow growing plant. And even though it will bloom, I think that it's going to be late summer before it does. So, oh well. That will just be going in. And that'll be nice, because it's going to be a beautiful, kind of a darker purple, a little spiky thing. And that'll be really pretty with the sunflowers. And here's some more celosia. This is where the sunflowers are planted, or sown rather. And this is the frosted explosion. And these beds that I just went over with the hoe, they don't have anything in them yet. I just decided to get ahead of the weeds before we start putting anything further in them. They will have more sunflowers put in them in a couple of weeks. In the lower end of this garden, Hugh is going to sow buckwheat for me, because it will be the first week in July before anything will be going into that section. So it just needs a ground cover on it. It just needs to have something growing in the soil. But everything that, like I said, that's just been kind of topped off to get the weeds taken care of. And then these 2 beds that's still covered with plastic, that will be all of the grow space that I think we're going to need for this next succession. And then by the first week in July, the buckwheat will be ready to turn in, and we'll be ready to start growing down there. And then by the first week in August, these beds up here will be exhausted. We'll be taking them out and maybe starting the next succession. And after they finish, they'll be ready for probably a winter cover crop to go over them. But it's all a learning curve, y'all. It's just trying to figure it out. I told you today, I said, you know, you wouldn't think that you needed to have a PhD to grow flowers. But there's so many variables and everything that needs to be done. And I'm enjoying Lisa's course, and I'm watching lots of other people on their YouTube channels, people that are cut flower growers. And I'm really, really learning a lot. But it seems like the more I'm learning, the more I realize I don't know. And that's kind of deflating for a gardener, to realize that in this one area, I really don't know what I'm doing. So I have a lot to learn, and I guess we'll just learn as we go. But I did want to bring you down here. I had told y'all that I would bring you over when the rhododendron were in full bloom. Just look at that. Is that not the craziest thing? I mean, I never remember them not being there, because those were planted when Hugh was a young teenager. And so you can't really tell so much from over here, but that is a really large rhododendron thicket. It's pretty impressive. The sun is going down, and I'm glad. I'm ready for this day to kind of be over. But it has been a beautiful, beautiful day. Hugh and I took another load of scrap metal off to the scrap yard today, and that's always nice. It's always nice to feel like we're getting rid of things that are just eyesores and haven't been used in years. It's just, you know, on a farm, there's so many things that just get stacked up or put in an area that, you know, there might at one time have been thought that there would be a use for it. You know. Or it may have been put in a pile because they knew it was scrap metal and it needs to go off sometime when the scrap metal gets taken off. But, oh well. Things take time. It's not like there's never anything here to do. But anyway, I had talked to y'all the other day about making raised beds, doing this whole field in raised beds. And guess what? We're going to start on that this year. And I know it's going to be a long time coming. It'll take quite a while to build 111. That's how many I calculated. I took my graph paper and I gridded it off, leaving a large enough space in between each raised bed row so that my lawnmower could go between easily. Because this little guy right here, that's my little tool, whatever, my little tool carrier, but it goes behind my lawnmower, so I want that to be able to fit also. And I think it's a little bit more narrow than my lawnmower actually. But once the dog lot is built up here, the raised beds will start just about 4 feet from the edge of the dog lot. And so starting way up here, you can see the corner of that wooden lot over there. That's where the new dog lot will be, coming this direction. So the dog lot will actually end up being, what did I say, about 15 feet, maybe 20 feet bigger than it is now. And it won't just be a dog lot. I keep the dog poo cleaned up, so we enjoy the area as well. But that's a nice little area. And our little new porch. We need some handrails, and we need a nice ramp for the old dogs to get down, and we need some stairs coming down this side. Those stairs over there are temporary. But so right here, about in this spot, lined up with that metal frame over there, will be where the beds will line up. And there'll be a row with 6 beds. The beds will be about 36 to 42 inches wide. They'll be 16 feet long. There'll be a 4-foot row between each bed, and then also a long 4-foot row between the rows of beds. So six beds, come down 4 feet, another 6 beds, come down 4 feet, another 6 beds, and so on and so on and so forth. You can see the field narrows a little bit, so at some point down through there will only be 5 beds across. But altogether, about 110, 111 wooden raised beds, 18 inches high. I can't even tell you how excited that thought makes me, even knowing that it's going to take literally years before we will have that much wood here. Hugh and I go over to Canton, and we bring home the hardwood from the lumber yard over there, the wood that they can't use. And it's just a lot of work. That's just what it is. It's just work. Chelsea always says, "Oh, it's just a thing." Everything's just a thing with her. But let me tell you what I decided to do. This, I was going to have Aaron weld this great old big frame back together for me, and I was going to use it as a greenhouse. But it has been repurposed. It's going to stay exactly where it's at. He's still going to come, and we're going to put it back together, and he's going to weld it up nice and tight for me. And he has some like plastic netting that he had when he lived in Georgia, and it's somewhere in, I think, down there in one of the barn stalls. He's going to find that and help me put everything on here. And guess what this is going to be, y'all? We've decided this will be a perfect location for an aviary for the baby peacocks that I'm hoping I'll be getting pretty soon. Now, how cool will that be? That's a big building, or it will be a big building. Not call it's a building, it's a whatever. You can tell I'm tired. But anyway, that is going to be a perfect location. Down here in the evening it will be cool. And the little hatchlings, they'll be babies when I get them. But I've got to do some research and find out how long they have to stay in there. I know that an adult, if you bring an adult peacock onto your property, they actually have to stay contained for 2 months minimum and up to 4 months before everything, it's kind of an imprint. It's the area imprints on them, so they become used to the sounds and smells and whatever, and they feel like this is home, so they stay. But we're going to have to find out how long the babies will be in there for a long time. It's going to be like my pullet area over here in the chicken lot. It'll be a pullet area for the peacocks, just to keep them safe until they're big enough to kind of do their own thing. But I suspect that like Isabella, when she was with us, she actually nested up in the top of these trees, and it was impressive watching her fly up that high. But I suspect that when the littles get big enough, that's what they'll do as well. I would love it if they would just, I'm going to put some roosting poles in here. They like to nest really, really high, but I'm going to put some roosting poles in here pretty high And these that are across the top, if it gives them enough room, I think that's about 1.5 feet up to the ridge. But they may just nest in there. Of course, they can't in the winter. That's going to be too chilly for them, so it's going to have to be made out of wood and a flatter surface. But we'll get all that figured out in time. But I think that's going to be a good location. Good location for some peahens. Hopefully peahens. I hope I don't end up with, 3 peacock babies. That's not the goal. But I don't think that anybody can tell what they are before they're older. So we'll have what we have. But the good thing is, if I do end up with peacocks, I'm hoping that I'll be able to find someone that has peahens and maybe make some trades. But anyway, well, y'all, I wanted to show you the rhododendron. Absolutely a gorgeous, gorgeous bush, tree, whatever it is. I'm not sure. But I think I'm going to go in, maybe make a pot of decaf. I think I'd like some coffee this evening. It's just cool enough to drink coffee. And it won't be long before it's going to be too hot in the evenings to drink coffee. But I hope your day has been wonderful. I hope your week will be beautiful. And those of you in Oklahoma and Texas, I hope you're safe. Seeing this devastating weather. And I just hope y'all are safe. Take care. And love y'all. Bye-bye.